thanks for joining me on my journey to make VR games, and hopefully this video can help somebody, because I know for a fact it took me about 2 days to figure out how to do this. I know there's probably easier ways, but online there's no real explanation on how to create weight when you're working with VR or characters or items. There is for flat screen, but it's very different for VR, and I'm going to explain why. In this game, we're building a detective-based game where we need every item in the environment or in the game to have its specific weight. So when you pick up something like a controller or a bottle of water, water is a little bit different of an example because their weight shifts as you, never mind, I'm not going to go into that, but as you pick up a bottle of water, this water bottle has a different weight value than a controller does, or than a phone or a garbage bag or a person for that matter. So when you're working with static objects such as a garbage bag, you can easily go into here and input the value of the physics to that of the garbage bag. So if I go here, I can go down and I can set mass in kilograms to the actual weight that I want the garbage can to be, or the garbage bag to be. However, a person is not the same. So to do a person, you first need to go into the physics. You can go into the blueprint itself and then go through down here and collect here and go into the physics, or you can just go into the physics model of the character that you're using anyway. But because I'm using so many different characters, I need to be able to adjust them to the actual blueprint that I'm working with. So in this example, what we want to do is we want to find the area that we want to create a mass or weight to. So each of my characters have different weight values, mass in kilograms, to each of the body parts. This one does not, because this one is one that I'm showing you as an example. So what I've done is I've created the mass of 100 kilograms within the chest. So a human has the most weight in the upper torso midsection of the body, right? Arms and legs, heads are about 8 pounds, arms and legs are about 6 to 8 as well, and then you got your hands in 4 or 5, whatever it may be, 3. So you go down and you decide what the value of the weight is going to be now, as if they would in real life. So if something weighs a lot, you may not be able to pick it up with one hand, you may need 2 hands. So this is the example that I'm using. So I'm going to go into the game, and I'm just going to show you the created value of the player. So as I go up, I can pick up the garbage bag. I move the garbage bag with one hand. It's not that heavy, but you can see that the garbage bag is pulling down on my hand as I lift it up. I can lift my hand higher and faster than the weight of the garbage bag. So in your head, you're thinking, I need to use 2 hands for this. And as you use 2 hands, you can see that the weight of the garbage bag is easier to pick up with 2 hands. Now, to most people, that would be kind of obvious. But when you're playing flat screen games, you don't have to interact with your players like that, so you don't have a sense of feel or a sense of weight on each object or each character. So as I pick up this character, you can see I'm struggling to lift him around. And then when I pick him up, I can only pick him up so far with one hand before it becomes cumbersome and I'm not able to do it. But if I put my other hand behind his back, I'm able to lift him up even further. And I can't fully pick him up because he's a large person. Probably in game theory, he weighs about 300 pounds. No, not 300 pounds. Probably about 230, 250. But what I can do is I can drag him. And the dragging value is obviously a little not realistic, but that'll work on that. Now, as I was saying about the garbage cans or garbage bags, same difference. Where that one was fairly light or lighter, where this one here has more weight on it, so I need to pick it up with 2 hands in order for me to move or manipulate the object. So like I said, as this being a detective-based game, when dealing with a body, in real life, you would come up to the crime scene, and if you were to move the body, which you don't want to do, but if you have to, the person would be what we classify as dead weight. So full body weight is he's not able to help me pick him up. In real life, in a situation where the person is not incapacitated or worse, they would help you with pushing down on their arms, muscles in their back or their legs or whatever it may be, to help you to be able to lift them up or put them on your shoulder or lift the stand or whatever it may be. But in this case, you don't have that option. So the body has to reflect that. The legs have to be the weight that they have to be, the arms, the legs, everything else. I know I'm trying to go into a lot of very specific details here, and I apologize, and I don't want to make this video any longer than it needs to be. I just want to show that the ability to make your characters weigh and every other item in the game that you're creating should have a value of weight. It makes it more realistic to the player. As they're playing, they feel that they're actually immersed into the environment and that they're picking something up. If you can pick up a person with one hand, that doesn't seem very realistic. It's fun because you can ragdoll them and throw them everywhere, but in a game where you're actually trying to manipulate real life events, it doesn't really transfer that well. So as always, hope this helps. And if you have any questions, let me know. And as always, stay safe. Catch you on the flip side.